No.
So many,
The
like I'm for the last couple of hours just in working group.
working groups. Yeah. This is the last one, I think.
No, is it? No, there's O10 also.
Oh, wow. How did
Just,
composite schema go?
yeah, I did that and just cleared out the stuff that we have to do until the conference. And now the HTTP.
HTTP, should we go over the thing for YouTube? Like by being here, we all agree to the membership agreement, participation and contribution guidelines. This meeting is recorded and processed with AI. And I'm Martin.
I'm Michael.
All right, we have a huge agenda. Actually, I think, is there anything you wanted to discuss in particular, Michael?
Yeah, so I have one point that is the batching, which is an appendix, which we need for the composite schemas. Um,
Yes.
and then also much more important, let's get it over the
Let's
line. Like
let's
let's
let's get it over the line. Yes. Let's start with the easy stuff. Let me share my screen. I'm suggesting we go with the easy stuff first, which is typos. I think the typos are merged already, so that's good. We have this one, which is about not allowing operation name equal nurse,
yeah.
which was also approved and waiting for a bit more feedback. So maybe we can merge it next week.
Yeah, where I can give you also a
Yes. So what it does is, wait, I have to dive into this again. Yeah, there was this wording that says specifying null for optional request parameters equivalent to not specifying them at all, which does not work for get parameters because in get you don't want null. If you put null in a get request, it's not JSON, so it does not make sense. So I moved it a bit below to the JSON only. And for get, I allow empty string. Yeah, I allow specifying the empty string.
okay. Now it's a ping Pascal for review, and then we should be able to merge it. So the general rule is when we have two TSCs approve it, you basically can merge it because it's not a spec change, like it's not a stage change, like simple pull requests can be merged.
Okay. Do you want me to merge that one?
Yeah, I would merge it. Like let's uh let's just get it done. And I go let's go through them. If Benji approved them and I approve them, we have two votes. Then we can
It's
merge them because the
it's
final,
it's merged.
yeah, the idea is the final review is anyway, and then we need 6 votes from the TSCs. But for pull requests, 2 is enough.
And what was the other one? So we've gone through ambiguity. This one is a bit more controversial.
Okay.
It's about unknown parameters. Today, it's only applies to JSON, and I moved it above so that it applies to get as well. And Benji made a comment that is like if you have a get URL, let me see the comment. Yeah, if you have a get URL, you might have other parameters. So it's a bit weird to talk about them. Like it's a bit weird for GraphQL to allocate the whole query strings for themselves.
Yeah,
But
it's so we don't have like the problem. The problem is like if we don't claim everything, then the moment we want to claim something new, we do a breaking change. But if you
yes,
claim everything, it's basically that's the reasoning behind it, right? Then
yes,
later changes are just okay. You shouldn't have used it. But that's also why we introduced like the extensions.
yes. But extension work in post because it's all JSON. In
Yeah.
get, it's a bit weird. Like it's very easy to add a new query parameter to an URL.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. I see. I mean, the same is with variables, right? In the GET request, variables are JSON.
Yes.
So you have to anyway construct this JSON.
If we wanted to wrap everything, we should make some kind of body query parameters that is itself encoded in JSON and contains all the GraphQL requests, and then people could use other query params if they want to. But
Mm.
it's too late. Like we are not going to do that.
Yeah.
So my conclusion is I'm okay to let this one go because I don't think there's a good solution.
Yeah.
There's no solution.
So we are going for reserving everything, right?
I think no. I, I I I think we are going to like I don't know. I would just close this pull request and do nothing. So we reserve everything just for JSON, but not for get. Let's put it like this. So for get, if someone else want to add a new parameter, like they can if they want, and we hope that there is no name clash. And if someone uses on error as an additional get parameter, then there will be a problem later. But is this
Okay.
is life.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
And then the big one, big controversial pull request is to remove application JSON as a normative media type and allowed media type for
Where's
GraphQL over
that?
HTTP.
Do you have a
Oh,
number?
yeah, it's 379.
Okay.
So this one requires servers to actually support the new media type, and it moves all the application JSON language and all the status code to a separate appendix so that it's clear where the spec is going.
Who wants changes on that? Did
Benji is very much opposed to it. I don't want to speak for him, obviously, but like I think his main point is that this working group was made a long time ago with the goal of documenting the status quo, and he sees that as a breaking change.
shit. Okay, that means we need to get this. Uh,
And I'm saying that as like there was no spec before, so it's not a breaking change because there's nothing to break. But yeah, we have a philosophical divide there.
so who is opposed? Who is okay with it?
And maybe we just make a vote. I think that's probably the easiest way forward.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we need to have a vote on that. But I think like we have to like the problem is like hot chocolate for a long time already defaults to the new type. We just drag on the old type. We actually in the HTTP testing, we get 1 point down because we are supporting the newer format by default. So if you don't specify anything, we already use GraphQL plus JSON, GraphQL response plus JSON.
Mm-mm.
And to drag the JSON type another 5 years around is like,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, in 5 years, you don't know even if GraphQL exists, right? Or
Yep.
if it even has a place.
Yep.
So I would rather
I agree.
get rid of the legacy stuff.
I agree. Oh, wow. Lots of discussion on the variable batching proposal.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm just sending this to Pascal and others, so we get some eyes on the move application JSON to the appendix,
Mm-mm.
because I would like to have um, people paying attention. Okay. So the other appendix I want to introduce, and I want to introduce it as an optional appendix. If we get it in version 1, would be great. Uh, so I think so the rejections from Benji were just mainly added stuff. I've done that. Let's actually have a look at the content. So for the composite schema specification, we need a transport level batching mechanism. There were a couple of batching mechanisms around. We explored that in the composite schema specification working group, and came up with two variants that we want to have that are also good for clients. The first one is called variable batching, this guy here. And it allows you here these variables, they can be a list. If they are a list, it's variable batching. If it's a single object, it's a single request. So we don't even need to change a lot the request structure, introduce new stuff. It's basically just that this can be a list of objects or it can be an object. And then you can basically say, I want here, for instance, a foo, and I want foo with R1 and R2. Like it's like the nodes field. I don't know if you know the relay specification when you fetch a couple of nodes.
Yep.
You basically can do the same thing in one transport. Um, on the response side, we would give you two JSONs, and we have here a variable index which tells you which one of the variables you deliver here, just to have out of order indexes, out of order delivery, and that we don't have to queue things in the backend. This combines actually with a second thing that is the request batching, which is kind of what Apollo specified, but with changes. So we have an array of requests that you can pass in. These requests, by the way, can be also combined. So you could have a array, so a request of an array of GraphQL requests, and these could also be variable indexes again. And then you get back here out of order request index, variable index, or just request index if it's a singular request. That is the optional appendix that we want to park. You can give me a
I think Apollo Kotlin already supports something similar to request batching, except it's not the same output format. We have a custom output format. It's not using JSON-L.
Yes. So I'm very flexible on the output format, right? The important thing is that we want to have, like from the gateway, we want to have results as early as they are there. Um, and because of this, we need these indexes, like
Mm.
to which response request belongs actually this payload that we can reorder them. We talked also with Matt from Meta about that. Like they also look beyond the like they like very much the lookup principle that Martijn and I developed for the composite schema specification,
Mm-mm.
where you basically can describe how an entity can be fetched. And in combination with the batching protocol, you basically can just grab these in a single request. That's the
And it's funny, you have the same issue with allocating request names below, just below. So there's also a change to the main spec to reserve some names.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the same issue.
But this, for instance, only works over post, so we don't support it over get.
Mm. That simplifies stuff.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
like
it's cool.
it makes no sense. Like if you pack like one of these arrays, then they can be become too big for a URI, which has a limit.
Mm-mm.
I don't remember anymore how large it could be, but it was but there was a limit. Yes, so top level entries. A server must not include additional top level entries in the GraphQL response. Expected defined by one of. Yeah. Okay, I just clarified this. That in the response, that basically goes in the same direction that you try to specify for the request. I specified in the over HTTP specification that only the spec can introduce these guys, or you have to go into the extensions for the payload, right? Not for the request.
Yeah, but what you included here is good, right? Like anyone can. I mean, the sub specification can
Yes,
introduce new stuff.
exactly. Um, because otherwise we will get into trouble if we don't secure what is in the
Yeah.
response format. Yes. So this also would formalize how batching works in GraphQL, which is not formalized as of.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And um, and yeah, I discussed it, like Martijn discussed it with a couple of Apollo guys. Um, I don't know if you already knew this one. So we have a bit of feedback on that, and everyone was so far happy. But
Looks good to me. The only feedback I have is the name of the file is called variable batching, where it should be just batching because it's both
yeah,
variable and request.
yes, it's because in the beginning I actually planned to have an appendix for each of them,
Mm-mm.
but because we also have this because you can also combine them, right?
Mm-mm.
It didn't make sense. So yeah, I will rename that.
And request index and variable index feels a bit long to my taste, but this goes
Yeah.
into personal preference. I would have just gone with, I don't know, request is probably, yeah, I would have just gone with request and variable.
Yeah, I'm totally open for anything.
Mm.
Like that in the end, that's taste. We can
Yeah,
we can
it's
change
taste.
that.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same for me.
I just took the most precise one for now, but I'm fine if we go for variable or request. Yeah, as towards the JSON L, that was actually a proposition from Benji in the beginning. I kind of like it because it's very lightweight. We support it in Hot Chocolate as well. We also support multipart and other output formats. Um, like that is not the hill I would die on. So if like people feel we should use multipart, I don't mind.
I like JSON-L.
Yeah, it's very compact. So that's why I've found it very nice. Basically, each line is a JSON that you pass, and it's easy. Hi, Pascal.
Hello, I'm here to
Uh,
test that.
yeah, did you see the links I posted you?
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. I don't know. I could also, because this is the pull request is at variable batching, I can reopen it I can create a new clean pull request that just adds batching. I don't know.
Just rename that one. Rename that one, rename the file, and it's batching for everything. I don't think it needs a new pull request.
Oh, okay.
We probably need implementations of all of this.
Yeah, we have implementations for this in Hot Chocolate. I'm going to give you a pull request on the Kotlin server.
Okay, nice.
That is a thing I want to implement first.
Yeah, the first contributor of Apollo Kotlin server.
And I'm also looking at GraphQL Java to implement it, but I don't know if like GraphQL Java is complex to contribute to, not like because it's so like there's a Spring Boot, there's DGS, I don't know where to put it.
Oh yeah, GraphQL Java is just the language and execution. It probably
Yeah,
doesn't know anything about HTTP.
yeah, but that's also a problem, right? Because like
Yeah.
the
So
way they yeah.
you need to put it in Spring for GraphQL and everywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, and I found like for instance, when you batch this, but when you use, for instance, variable batching, you won't actually in the GraphQL in the execution context use a single data loader dispatching. Or if it works, if you're supporting, I don't know, if you're supporting batch resolvers, then ideally, if the same resolver matches, it's the same request, it's the same GraphQL request, you can combine them and optimize data fetching. That's what we did in Hot Chocolate.
Mm. But it's understandable, right?
What?
That it's not in GraphQL Java.
Yeah, in GraphQL Java, it's very difficult to do that because like you have the parts in Spring and then you have parts in
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a framework, right? Is this different in Kotlin? Like, how do you connect to,
it's
how
all
do you
Yeah,
markets.
expose, how do you expose something as slash GraphQL? Is this something which is built into Kotlin, or
no,
do
no,
you
no.
have,
You have different frameworks. You have Spring always, Ktor, and
right?
HTTP for K.
But how do you handle the transport in Kotlin?
Yeah, you need a server. So
Okay.
Kotlin is execution language, but you need a server, and the server is Spring. So just like GraphQL Java, it's
Yes,
Spring.
but you have all the libraries in your repository, right? That also do the transport, or do you
Oh
use?
yeah, yeah. It's in the same repo. So I have the integrations with the main
Yeah,
servers directly in the repo.
Mm,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, so this makes so much sense
Because with
because
Yeah, with
Because
Graph
you want to implement this transport once and not 7 times, right?
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm going to like it's on my list. It's on my list. Yeah, I have so much on my list. I'm going to do a Kotlin, so we see that it works in your server and also performs well. And then I have a couple of others.
Why?
I have added the variable actually it's not variable, it's just batching. I've added the batching feature to can I use? We can track who is implementing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'd probably go to yoga and give the guild a pull request. So we
Yep.
have it in the JavaScript stuff. I implemented it already for async GraphQL, which is in Rust, but that is no longer maintained. So I discount that.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But
I don't understand why not more people use .NET. We don't need Spring. It comes with the framework. You don't have
Yeah, I
to
know
work.
people love Spring. I to this day I don't understand people who love Spring, but it's like maybe half the backend ecosystem likes. Every Java developer wants to do Spring. Like, oh, why? Why?
We
No,
should.
it's
Why don't you release Summer?
what is it?
Why don't you release Summer?
I
And
don't
you
know.
just call it as the next gen Spring, you know?
Uh, I don't
to-
know. No, I don't want anything to be tied with Spring. You know, it brings back too many nightmares. Have you done Spring before?
yeah.
Yeah, Spring Beans.
It's beans. Yeah, it took me 10 years to understand what a beans was, what a bean was.
I still have nightmares about Java Swing UI, so
Uh,
Yeah,
and
I think
auto wiring and all the configuration and the dependency injection hell and
yeah. But
whatever.
we had two-way data binding way before AngularJS came up with it.
yeah, but I mean Java became good when they created Kotlin.
No, I mean it's probably one of the most successful stacks, right?
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean it's true, but it's because every uni just teaches Java.
Yeah, I mean they should just teach .NET. Tell them, but they don't listen.
Okay, so I'm going to put that we have three implementations. I don't know how the Apollo side looks at this, like Apollo server.
I can ask. Is it going to be an Apollo server thing? Yeah, probably. Probably it needs
Yeah.
support in Apollo server. I can create the issues.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, we can do the work to provide an implementation.
and we would need that in the router as well.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea is that the composite schema specification uses that to do batching, right? It
Yep.
even would help with Apollo Federation. I mean, you could push everything into this into a representation, but if you have like multiple of these, then you would basically use request batching. Um,
Makes sense.
yeah, would be. I think that the main concern from Martin back then when we discussed it was JSON-L. I don't know how it is today, but that's why I said if like Apollo's main concern is JSON-L, like that is something we can replace.
I'll ask the question. Actually, a question would be why did we use multipart for subscription? It's a question I've always wondered. And I guess the answer to that question is going to be the answer to why not JSON-L.
The so what I not official heard is like JSON-L was not considered, I think, for whatever reason. And multipart was already used for defer because somebody did it with multiparts. I don't remember why anymore, but it was already used for the defer proposal, the incremental delivery transport. And that's why then Apollo used also for the subscription protocol when they did that, also multipart. But neither of these are finalized. I like if we could get to a place where we use just JSON-L for everything of these transport, that would be awesome. If we land with multipart, I'm also okay. It's just a bit more waste of transport, right?
Yeah.
And it's also like when you read in the browser, um, like the transport streams, like multipart is just so huge for just giving us a JSON. But
Yeah, I'm trying to find if I can find some context about why JSON-L, why not JSON-L.
yeah, it would be cool if you could ask like the Apollo stands if we get
I'm,
the
I'll ask now. Um,
and yeah, maybe get some of your colleagues to look at the current specification that we have.
Sorry, I just noticed that there's a T too many.
What?
You did a typo in the branch name.
Oh, no, I have to re-raise the. No.
Sorry, guys, I was in too many meetings today. I can't think straight.
yeah, it's meeting day.
My fourth.
Yeah, it's literally uh,
Do you plan to merge anything today? You can ping me. I'm available if you need any approvals.
We did,
but you did the approvals on the two I sent you?
Yes.
Okay.
One was approved by Benji, right?
One was approved by Benji, one was opposed by Benji. Um, um, which one was opposed? Yeah, Benji is not in favor of the so Martin and I just include you here, Martin. Of the opinion that we should move.
Yeah, no, we've discussed this, right?
Yeah.
Discussed this. I've discussed this with both of you. Like
Okay.
I mean, I know the pull requests. I've read through these pull
Okay.
requests. We have after the TSC meet, I believe you I've asked you what this was about, and then you sent me this pull request. So I had a look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't just approve something. So
Mhm.
this is about essentially um, getting
Yeah.
rid of the legacy more quick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean we had this like this repository is so old. And I think the reason like we at some point like 6 or 7 years ago we said okay we are encoding the status quo and everybody should implement the status quo and there was a date when the status quo would expire. This date actually was this year, no, last year in 2025. But we never merged that. But everybody's implementing this actually already, right? I don't know any GraphQL server that doesn't implement this standard already. So I would just say that the time has gone, kind of, to have the legacy part. The legacy part would have been good 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we've been there. We've discussed it. I'm in favor. That's why I approved.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Then I think we have discussed everything.
I think we are at the end of the agenda.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to hunt a couple of other TSCs for this one, and then let's see if we can get it over the line. I think it would be a much better spec then.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Time to
Then,
go home.
yeah, just in the office. Okay. See
I
you
think I
guys.
will do another
See you
work group
guys.
now. Bye.
Is it another workgroup?
No, I just will do another one. I'll
Oh
just
yeah.
come up with
Okay.
something.
Oh yeah, you have
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
one.
Let's do I don't know.
Cooking working group. What do we
Yeah,
cook tonight?
yeah. See you later, guys.
See you
See
guys.
you all.